I hope everybody is doing really great. Welcome back to my Tech Stack Learning channel. Today's session is more about the router chains in LangChain. So if I have a series of sessions on the LangChain, you can go ahead and watch the playlist. So today's is on router chain, which is basically a powerful concept in LangChain, especially when building dynamic AI workflows. So I'll give you the complete deep dive into the router chains with step-by-step explanation and also all possible coding examples using the Azure OpenAI. Stay tuned till the end of the session. So what is router chains, right? So basically a router chain which allows you to dynamically decide which subchain or like LLM chain or tool or agent to call based on the input, right? So basically routing, right? Think of it as like a traffic controller for prompts. So you provide an input, right, and router decides which branch to go. Each branch may be different LLM chain or the workflow, right? So you provide an input, this router chain will decide whether it should go to the LLM chain or tool for the workflow, right? So that is where it is what the router chain is about. And what are the why router chain is majorly to handle the multiple input types, it can handle summarizations, math, or any different types of inputs. Then it is efficiency, so it will avoid unnecessary calls. Then we have flexibility, like different prompts, models per task, right? So that is very good and great for multifunctional assistants like GPT or ChatGPT, right? So that is why we need these router chains. So what are the key concepts within the router chains, right? This is a router chain, which is basically a main controller. Okay, it's a controller who decides where to go what, right? And then we have destination chains, basically subchains where your input is routed, right? And then we have default chain, whenever there is a fallback, if no destination fits, right, then it goes to the default chain. And then we have LLM router chain, basically uses an LLM to decide the routing, right? And then we have the multi-prompt chain, like special router chain for multiple prompts. So this is the main controller, and this is the destination, and then for the fallback scenario, and this is for AI powered router, right? And if you have multiple prompt based workflows, then you can use the multi-prompt router chain. So now let's see in an action how we can build the router chains, right? So first we'll start with the basic router with LLM router chain. Here in this example, we will try to classify the input to the three different destinations. Okay, so send it to the right destination. So let me create a file for router chain.py. Okay, as usual, I need a simple the basic import of details, right? I'll just copy paste this. Okay, whatever the basic imports which I need, I'll just take that. Okay, this is what the base import which I need at least to initiate the LLMs, right? Then what I'll do here is I'll import, I need prompt template as well. Import prompt template. Okay, then I need LLM chain, then I need from LangChain dot chains, import LLM chain, then from LangChain dot chains, import, I'll need router, right? So I change dot router, import multi uh, multi-route chain. Okay, then I also need LLM router. Let me word wrap it. So I'll need LLM router chain. Okay, these two chains I need. Next, what I would need is parser. I need the output parser also. So from that, for that, let me just collapse this. Okay. LangChain dot chains dot router. Okay. Then I'll need LLM router. Then I'll import router output parser. So these are the inputs which I need. Okay, then I have loaded the environment variable, and my instead of this I'll just put LLM. Okay, my LLM also is up. Right now, what I'll do is, as I told, we will define the destinations. Right, so define destinations, which I said I will be going with three destinations: one for summarization, one for math problems, and one for identifying the sentiments. Okay, so what I'll do here is destinations equal to, I'll create those variable. Okay, summarizer. So this one I'll say useful for summarizing text. So this is what indication of the description of my destination, right? Math problem. What I'll do here is I'll say, oh, just a second. Then I'll say useful for solving math problems. Okay. Mm. Then comes last one. Last destination which I'm defining is sentiment. So I'll say useful for analyzing sentiment. So these are the three destinations which I am defining. Okay. Now first thing what I have to do is I have to set up the router prompt parser. Okay. So I'll have a router output parser to structure the data, right? So I need a router parser, router output parser. Okay. Then I will have a router prompt template. I need a prompt template, right? So I'll define router prompt template also. So here I'll say you are a smart router. Okay. Given a user input, decide which destination it should go to, right? So here destinations are I will just give the destination which I have defined above, right? This is the one, right? And then I will say the output, the output, what it has to return, right? Return a valid JSON object with exactly two keys I need, right? So one is what is a destination which got identified. It could be a string, right? String one of this destinations, correct? Then I will say next inputs. So this is basically again a string. Okay, the reformatted user input, nothing else, right? Reformatted user input, nothing else. This is what my output should look like. And if you want any kind of strict rules, right, strict rules you can put, like keys must be in double quotes. Okay, or you can say string values must be in double quotes. Then no nested objects. Okay, we can give an example. uh, Example we can see, um, okay, example we can give like destination, then colon, then summarizer, like that's a destination which I have, right?
uh, then I will say next inputs will be what it should do, right? So another again, like summarize this text about short summary, right? So this is how the example looks like, and this is my user input, what I'm going to pass, right? So this is my variable. Okay, this is how the prompt template looks like. Now what I'll have to do is I'll have to create a router prompt, right? Basically this is just a prompt which I have defined. Now I have to define the prompt template, right? So template equal to router template. This is what my the router prompt looks like. For this, input variables will be the input. This is the input, it should go to the router. Okay, then we will also have a partial variables. So this one we will have like destinations. Those are the destinations which goes as a variable, right? So this we have to assign. Okay, then this is what which I have defined in my uh, in the above, right? So you can see I have defined this destinations, correct? So this one, okay. Then I will have a output parser as the last. Output underscore parser equal to router output parser. Okay, so now I have the router prompt also defined. Now I'll have to create a router chain, right? Router chain. This is where the controller lies, right? So LLM router chain from LLM of, then I'll define which LLM it should use, then I will define which prompt it should take it, right? So now we have the router chain. This is a controller basically, right? Now we'll also have to create the destination chains, right? So we will start with uh, destination chains, right? So we will start with summary chain, right? Summary chain equal to LLM chain of which LLM to use. Then what is the prompt it has to take, right? So here I'm not going to create another variable as such. I'll just define what it has to take, right? Template of, simply I'll give summarize this, right? So I'll just give input. Okay. Then we will also have the output key, which will be what it is giving back, right? So it will be summary. Okay, this is my summary chain, right? Similarly, I'll create two other. One is for match chain, another one is for sentiment chain, right? So match chain, so LLM will be the same. Here I will say solve the math problem. Solve the this math problem. Okay, and then output will be math. Okay, and here I'll give sentiment chain. So in this I'll say classify sentiment. Okay, and output key will be sentiment. So now we have all the destination chains also defined. Now we will also have to define the default chain in case if nothing matches where it should go, right? So we will define default chain equal to LM chain of, then LLM equal to LLM. Then we'll have prompt equal to prompt template of, oh sorry, from template of, then this will say I cannot classify this, just respond to this input whatever user has given, right? So then I'll say output key equal to uh, output key will be default. Okay, so now we have the default chain also configured. Now we will have to combine everything into a multi-route chain, right? So multi-route chain equal to multi-route chain, which we have already imported, right? So router chain, this is the guy who will be routing and identifying the destination, right? Then we will have destination chains where we will be mentioning which all are the destination. So we have summarizer, then I'll say summary chain, right? Then I have math, then I'll say math chain. Then I have sentiment, which will be going to sentiment chain, right? And then what I'll do, this also has a parameter called default chain. If nothing matches, it goes this, right? Verbose equal to true, right? So now we have everything defined. Now it's the time for testing, right? So what I'll do here is I'll call multi-route chain dot invoke of so it's expecting input, right? So input will be the product is amazing, but delivery was late. Ideally they should go to the sentiment, right? So let's try to execute this and see. Python router chain. Let's see if it is throwing any kind of errors as such. Yes, it is throwing some error. What is the error? It says to an output that converts destination and execute receiver prompt with no output parser. So I hope I have, what is the line number? Chain for further informations. Where is the line? Which line it is throwing error? 61. 61 is on LLM router chain. LLM router chain from LLM router prompt. We have output parser equal to router underscore output parser. So we also have this, right? So I think the issue is with this output parser keyword. I have given the wrong keyword, right? So let's see if this helps. It has entered new multi-router chain, and we'll see. Yeah, so it has identified the destination as sentiment, and it has given the mixed sentiment, right? So now I'll say another input, 2 plus 2 plus 2 into 8. Okay, this should ideally invoke the math, right? So let's see if it is invoking the math chain. Yes, it has invoked the math, right? So this is how the basically the router chain works, right? So this is basically helpful for when we want to have a multiple LLMs or multiple features, and it's like a routing thing, right? So which is very helpful, right? So one more thing what we can try to do here is, what I did here is, for the match chain is basically LLM based I have did. We can also integrate route with the external tools, like there is a default match chain is given by the LangChain, that is chains import LLM. We have LLM match chain, okay, and then I will also import the LangChain. This is just an example. Similarly, we can you make use of any tools also as part of this integration, right? So this is what to import. So what I'll do here is, I will be just the matching, right? I'll just comment this out. This is the LLM based. So what I'll do here is, I'll create match chain equal to LLM match chain, okay, from LLM. Then I'll give LLM equal to LLM, then verbose equal to true, okay. And here what happens is, in default, by default, the matching LLM matching has the default input key as question. So I want to override that with my custom key, right? So input key equal to, because I'm using input, right? This is where I'm overriding the things. So what I'll do, this matching is there. Now matching will be used, correct? So let's try the same example and we'll see if the response is fine. Okay. So you can see it has gone to this math and 2 plus 2 number evaluation finish results, and it has given the output as well. So it has used the inbuilt matching. So this is basically if you want to use route to the tools or APIs, not just the LLMs, you can use these kind of custom tools as well. Okay. Next, what we will see here is on the multi-prompt chain, right? What we have seen now is majorly on the routing with the chains, different chains that we have created, we have routed accordingly, right? So what we will do here is, I'll create another file for multi-prompt router dot py, okay, and I'll just copy paste whatever the base import which we need, right? I'll just copy paste those, okay. Then I will just hide this. So we need .env, we need OpenAI, we need prompt template, we need LLMChain, we need router this, and we need parser as well. And we don't need this for now, so I'll just remove it, okay. We have loaded, we have the LLM defined also. Now what I'll do here is, I'll have to import one more here, right? LangChain dot chains dot router, then I'll import multi prompt. This is another model which I need from the router, like how we have multi-route chain, LLM router chain, we also have a multi-prompt chain. So here what I'll give is, define multiple prompts. Here I'm going to define multiple prompts. So prompt infos, okay. I'll have an array where I will have first one will be name. I'll give like uh, I'll take this as a physics, okay. Then what is the description? uh, Good description. Description will be what? I'll give good for answering physics questions, okay. Then I will also define the prompt template here, okay. Prompt template equal to, then I'll say you are a physics physics expert answer the questions. Then I'll give my input here. Okay, so this is one of the prompt which I am going to put. Another I'll create for poetry. Okay, so the name will be poetry. Okay, then good for answering, uh, good for generating creative poetry. And prompt template, we can say you are a poet, write a short poem, write a short poem about, right? And I'll create one more last that could be an history related, we will give. Okay, history, then good for history, historical facts, historical facts. Then I'll say you are a historian, historian, provide an writer can just provide an explanation about. Okay, so I have this defined. These are the three different types of prompts, right? Now I'll also have to create a default chains. Let me just copy from there whatever the default chain which we have created, right? Same should go well, right? So I'll just copy paste this default chain. Then I will be creating a multi-prompt chain equal to multi-prompt chain from prompts. Then which LLM, we know that already, we have defined it. Then we have prompt infos equal to prompt infos. These are the list of prompts which will be used, right? Then default chain equal to default chain, that is for fallback. Then verbose equal to true, right? This is what my multi-prompt chain looks like. Now I'll just go ahead and hit and see how the response is coming in, right? So I'll say multi-prompt chain dot invoke of explain explain Newton's third law of motion, right? Let's see if how this is working. Okay, so Python multi-prompt multi-prompt router, right? It has entered that and we'll see what is that. So it has taken it as a physics and it has given an explanation, correct? So what I'll say is tell write a poem about sunsets in 2 lines. Okay, so it should go to which, it should go to the poetry, right? So it has given the output as well, right? So this is how the multi-prompt chain works, wherever it's mainly used for specialized router chain for different prompt templates and great for domain specific Q&As, right? That's the difference between the router chain and the multi-prompt chain.
So when we are using the router chains, what are the best practices we will have to follow, right? So always define the default chain, like which will helps you to prevent the failures, right? And be specific in router prompt, like better routing decisions, right? Be very specific there. Then use multi-prompt chain, like if only routing between different prompts, then only use it. Use multi-route chain if routing between different chains or the tools, right? Then you have to test the inputs thoroughly. LLM routing can sometimes misclassify, right? So the testing is very much important here. So that is the end of our session on this router chains, and I hope you have an idea about what is router change. Basically, smart traffic controller for inputs, and what are the different variants we have. If you like my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you have any specific topic on the same LangChain series, please put it in the comment box and I will surely try to get you. Stay tuned for the next session. Thank you.